One Zambia, one nation. A warm welcome to Zanis News. I'm your presenter, Sarah Miti. We take a look at the stories making headlines. Dubai Ports pledges to help Zambia become logistics hub. Government releases 10 million kwacha to pay retrenched workers. Hospital depends on motorbike for transport. Plus, Chipolopolo takes on Congo DRC at AFCON. Zanis News in detail. Vice President Mtalena Lumango has described former Information and Broadcasting Services Minister Ronnie Shikapwasha as a vibrant, selfless, and committed man who served the Republic diligently. Mrs. Nalumango says the late Shikapwasha believed in working towards human emancipation as opposed to serving personal interests. Speaking when she visited the funeral house in Ibex Hill in Lusaka, the Vice President observed that public life calls for service to the people. Sande Bolia now reports.
Vice President Mtalena Lumango has described former Information and Broadcasting Services Minister Ronnie Shikapwasha as a vibrant, selfless and committed man who served the public diligently. Ms. Nalumango says the late Shikapwasha believed in working towards human emancipation as opposed to serving personal interest. The Vice President said this when she visited the funeral house of the late Shikapwasha in Ibex Hill in Lusaka.
From the public life is simply a commitment, because public life calls for service to the people. And whatever you do, remember you are saving people. Don't save self. So for him, as far as I knew, he was committed to do that. And that's what we should learn. Yeah, he was extremely committed to what he did, particularly when we worked together in cabinet. He was vibrant, he contributed. He did the best that he could do as Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of Home Affairs. Those are the portfolios that come to mind now. We worked well together. For me, we worked well together. He was my brother. That's the way we called each other, and treated each other with dignity and respect.
And Ms. Nalumango has advised family members of the late Shikapwasha to look to God for strength during this mourning period.
But all I will say is generally you don't speak to the dead, but to the living. And to them is that hope in the Lord never diminishes. We remain in the Lord, we hold on to Christ, and we know each one of us has that one day appointed. It is how prepared we take. And therefore, for today, I would say, for each one of them, this day is coming, but look to the living God. If there is an area of repentance, this is a time to remember and repent and commit our lives to the Lord.
And family member representative Alan Malpenga said the family has lost a pillar.
No, he has been a family member who looked at everybody, if his own children, the same. He never segregated. So the family, they've lost the hero in the family. Being a politician, not supposed to be somebody who just looks after his family. You have to broaden up your nets, but everyone is your relatives. That's why even today, Shikapwasha General is being remembered and being mourned by so many people, like especially in Kembe constituency.
General Shikapwasha, who was also former Zambia Air Force commander, also served as Home Affairs Minister and Foreign Affairs in the MMD government. He died on Monday at Manasoko Military Hospital in Lusaka. For Zanis Lusaka, I am Sande Walia.
Dubai Ports, one of the highly ranked ports in the world, says Zambia has the potential to become a logistics hub if only she can take advantage of her geographical location. Dubai Ports Chief Executive Officer Sultan Ahmed bin Sulaim has since pledged his company's commitment to help the country achieve this milestone by investing in dry ports and rail systems. Kalani Muchima has the details in the following report.
The ongoing World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, has continued to build momentum, with the Zambian delegation having back-to-back meetings with investors, while Finance and National Planning Minister Stumbeko Musokotwane was having private meetings with other players. Commerce, Trade and Industry Minister Chipaka Mulenga, on the other hand, was also having a meeting with the Dubai Port's Chief Executive Officer, Sultan Ahmed bin Salahem, who expressed his company's desires to explore opportunities in Zambia's logistics sector, such as warehousing, transportation and dry ports.
Work with DP World is something that we are very, very happy to do.
Thank you very much. And we will connect both markets in UAE and also in Zambia.
Indeed.
Because there are lots of products that we need and there are products that we want to buy and there are products we want to sell.
Sure.
And we can connect the traders because at the end of the day, the traders are the ones who can do business.
Indeed.
And we are facilitators. Government provides facility, we provide warehouses for distribution. But who do the trade? The traders. And we need to make them informed. We need to be able to know what they're selling and what they want to buy so we can connect them.
Sure.
How do we utilize and leverage on the location of Zambia, that is basically between Tanzania, with our bigger project in Tanzania, and also between Mozambique?
Sure.
Mr. Mulenga said having a company like DP World with a high reputation in the world, it investing in Zambia can greatly raise the country's economic portfolio.
Yeah, we have made a decision as a government. This is a year of implementation. We have seen what DP World has been able to achieve across the world, and including in regions in Africa, in other places in the region, like Tanzania and other places. We've deliberately decided that Zambia should be a logistic hub. So we've got many other corridors that we want to develop and want to do it with you. So our position is to do it right the first time.
Thank you.
And our agenda is very simple. We do things right the first time with the right people at the right cost.
The meeting at Dubai Ports was also attended by Commerce, Trade and Industry Permanent Secretary, Investment and Industrialization, John Mulongoti, Special Assistant to the President for Economic, Investment and Development Affairs, Jito Kayumba, Zambia Development Agency ZDA Director General, Albert Halwampa, among others. Dubai Ports is one of the world's leading logistics company, which is under the direct control of the ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who is also the Vice President and Prime Minister of the United Arab Emirates. Despite being away, President Hakainde Hichilema has been participating in some high-level meetings via Zoom, making sure that Zambia gets the best out of this important forum. Kalan Muchima, reporting for Zanis, Davos, Switzerland.
Thank you, Kalan, for that report. Now, in health news, government and the private sector have teamed up to launch a program targeting the fumigation of incoming and outgoing public service vehicles at points of entry into Lusaka province as a measure to end cholera. The program, which was flagged off by Lusaka Province Minister Shiu Muliata at Shimabala Toll Plaza in Chilanga, is expected to be rolled out for a period of 60 days. We have more in the following report.
Government has continued to embark on measures meant to curb the cholera pandemic. This morning, the Lusaka Province Administration flagged off an exercise to fumigate public service vehicles coming and going out of the province. The program, which was launched at Shimabala Toll Plaza in Chilanga District, is being done in partnership with a private firm, Kazumia Foundation. All the 4 point of entries into Lusaka Province are being targeted for the exercise, which will last 60 days.
The Cholera Task Force will put priority in the following places. 1, toll gates, targeting the travelers leaving or entering Lusaka. 2, markets, targeting the traders. 3, stations, targeting traders and travelers.
And right now, when we are talking about cholera, I know elsewhere people are thinking that probably it is a story of every day. Until it hits your family, that's when you realize that this thing is serious and you start taking precautions.
Kazumia Foundation expressed optimism that the partnership will yield positive results.
And we thought doing so the next 60 days, we should be able to contain the disease and help where possible, as you heard the PSA.
Public service drivers are pleased with the move.
bantu balibbe kolera olobwanji goenda che mustima ke che malongera pada poi padoti maningi pas so iche museba tata.
Government has continued to intensify efforts to ensure that the cholera pandemic comes to an end. Hopefully, this new intervention will go a long way towards normalizing the situation. Mtalakani for Zanis News in Shimabala, Chilanga District.
In Central Province, Provincial Permanent Secretary Muna Mwanakampwe has given the fishermen at Mumbwa's Namucheche fishing camp a 7-day ultimatum to vacate the area following 6 suspected cholera deaths in a single day at the camp. Mr. Mwanakampwe observed that despite recording 6 deaths, people have continued to drink water from shallow wells. Shupekile Nkunika has the rest of the story.
This is Namcheche fishing camp in Mumbwa district. The camp has been hardly hit by cholera, which has so far claimed 6 lives. Central Province Permanent Secretary Muna Mwanakampwe has led a team of health workers, security wings, and officers from the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit to the area. On the ground, 4 corpses are awaiting burial. Appearing weak and dehydrated, 10 patients have been immediately put on treatment. While a corpse lays in this makeshift house, 2 of its inhabitants require treatment.
My brother died this morning. His children both have diarrhea. I also feel sick.
Right next door, 2 children are sick.
Another child has been to the toilet 3 times. I also have stomach pains.
And next to this house is a shallow well. As people draw water from this shallow well, pigs are having a good time in the mud, just a stone throw away in a piggery. Sanitation facilities are non-existent.
We cannot dig pit latrines because they can collapse. We don't have toilets. We just defecate in different places.
Mr. Mwanakampwe has given the residents of Namcheche fishing camp a 7-day ultimatum to vacate the area to prevent further loss of lives.
We are giving you 7 days to go back where you came from. You come back after the fish ban.
Shupekile Nkunika for Zanis in Mumbwa.
We take our first break. We have more health news when we return. Stay tuned.
Hena korera ninzi korera mburwazi ibwa kusomona imuntu ugiswa burwazi bwa korera ulasomona kuluka kapati itubi tulamenda menda manji imurwazi ulanyota kapati agambwa kumana kwa menda mubiri imurwazi iwa korera unga wahwa umawola alo ali 12 gombo kutita jana busirisi buli kaboto hena munzira iri buti muntu bwako yakujana burwazi bwa korera igunywa menda alo atabikidwe musamu ja tusunda na menda aje sitombe igurya jagurya jalo igubere hamanza atasahigwa igabuto na igubere hamitima na himwi alo atasahigwa amimusamu na mwamenda aje si imusamu walo ja tuzunda igurya jagurya jitawunigidwe jalo jakarwa nzinini igurya jagurya jitontola jalo jalegekwa na jajilo yalo jenero tija yoburuga boton igurya jagurya jamumazira igurya imijelo naji humani yalo jatasahigwa gaboton hena munzira iri buti muntu mbwako yahugwa bira burwanzi bwa korera igubona masimpe guti wabagwananganya gabotumenda agunywa igwinda mugubona masimpe guti ajigwa na igubiko musamwa chlorine amusambe mumanze nugubere hansipa na menda abigwe musamu uja tuzunda mwamana kubere haje mbuzi amugisibige nakuchikasankha ichakudya kamthana akuchidya amuhunike ichakudya chindi chonse ikuthekwa kuti chithakalwe nzinini muthali ichakudya chakuwera mumazira amuperehe ichimbuzi chindi chonse amulitanthamule mukupereha igumbuli na tupepa twa plastic mukusowa thupi ambone masimpe kuti thupi twasogwa naye kupikhwamo chimbuzi ambone masimpe kuti chimbuzi chindi chonse kachisalala na kachihunikidwe oyi mulumbe waletwa kuli ndunye abamuthabulanga nyansepa muchisiye.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. Mongu Mayor Nyambe Muyumbana has implored restaurant owners in Mongu district to adhere to health guidelines in the wake of the cholera outbreak. Mr. Muyumbana was speaking during the cholera sensitization to restaurant owners and workers in the area. Namakao Kayombo now reports.
Mongu Municipal Council has started a cholera sensitization program to the business community in Mongu, with restaurants being top on its list.
Inuna kutukumo kwa kolera kwa lugiraeza kona mbona kunura so lwaitukisa luli lwaiza luli choza una kama kete kuli choza una ifuma ne luli kuli kenire.
And Mongu Mayor Nyambe Muyumbana, who was accompanied by the council public health officers in the sensitization activity, advised restaurant owners to adhere to cholera prevention guidelines.
What has necessitated this visit is outbreak of cholera. So we are basically checking and sensitizing our people that cholera is real and it is also in Mongu. Yeah, so we are basically here at the market as the council to check on the restaurants in terms of hygiene. People are complying with the regulations. They have papers. Only one or two that we found that they have expired papers, but we've advised them and given them a week to ensure that they comply with the regulation.
Mongu Mayor has also urged residents to dispel the myth that cholera cannot exist in sandy areas like Western Province. The entire Western Province has so far recorded 24 cholera cases, with Mongu district having 8, and out of the 8, 1 death was recorded. The remaining 7 patients are currently admitted to Mongu District Hospital Cholera Center. Namakao Kayombo, reporting for Zanis in Mongu, Western Province.
Thank you, Namakao. We're back to Central Province, where District Commissioner for Kawe, Lennox Chimwamba, has called for concerted efforts from members of the public to help maintain high levels of hygiene in the district. Mr. Chimwamba expressed concern that the further spread of the cholera outbreak might affect the economic gains made by the government. Here's a report.
Stakeholders in Kabwe have intensified efforts to ensure they curtail the further spread of cholera in the district. Kabwe District Commissioner Lennox Chimwamba led a team from the local authority, Union Star, and Sanhi Logistics in filling up ponds of stagnant water in markets.
The idea is to try and cover and reduce the incidences of cholera. Because remember, cholera is a waterborne disease. High levels of hygiene are extremely important. We look at the cases we have had in Lusaka. We are a transit town, and so ourselves, we must set an example. We must lead the way, because if we don't, then we're going to have a lot of casualties, and it will be very detrimental to the economic gains that so far President Akainde and his government has made.
Kawe Municipal Council Director of Health, Christopher Mtonga, emphasized the need for maintaining clean surroundings.
As a local authority, we have intensified solid waste management. We know that cholera is also poor hygiene conditions that way. So, as a local authority, we also the councillor and also the district commissioner lobbied for material support from stakeholders, and I'm glad to announce that we have received support from Camden Water as well as tipper trucks. So that is aimed at collecting garbage in the district. district. We're targeting markets, we're targeting open spaces, basically, where the information of food waste.
And Kasanda Market Chairperson James Mlenga thanked government for the efforts it's putting in place.
Okay, tuletola sana pamonga wa Kasanda Market namona inoshta ya kolera. So tuleta sana kubudeko kila muri wa president Pintubarechita bali abasakamana sana sakamana pakalamba sana namona amalwele apa ya kolera ali everywhere. So the project yambo kuisoka tupikile kwa fislagi tulecheta kwa malwele.
Kelvin Tembo for Zanis in Kabwe, Central Province.
In Luapula Province, Nchelenge constituency Member of Parliament Simon Mwale has commended government for the completion of the Nchelenge District Hospital. Dr. Mwale, however, observed that there is need to maintain high standards at the hospital once commissioned. Yvonne Nombo has more in the following report.
The constituency Member of Parliament Simon Mwale has toured the newly constructed 80-bed capacity district hospital in Nchelenge district to appreciate the work done so far. Dr. Mwale, however, has some concerns.
The only worry we have are the concerns and rumors. I hope these are just rumors that certain equipment may be moved from this hospital, which will really not be well placed with us. We are just hopeful that by the time there will be an official opening, together we shall go through the whole contract service and check, make sure the equipment services the people of Nchelenge, because all this was meant for the people of Nchelenge. In a case where there is no equipment in Mansa, in Lusaka, let them bring those patients here. In fact, we are looking forward that they help us by bringing more consultants to come and work in this hospital, because from our observation, we seem to have most of the equipment in place. So we really appreciate that the people here can be serviced.
And Nchelenge Town Council Secretary Collins Ndilema says the hospital will reduce on the distances that Nchelenge residents cover to access specialized medical services.
You are aware that this decentralization program that has been implemented by government, and that all health hospitals are now attached to the local authority. And for sure we'll be able to monitor and see to it that the hospital is being used properly and that the equipment are safeguarded. And also it is a blessing that the patients that have been moving long distance from Nchelenge to Mansa, others to Lusaka, the equipment that we have seen, it's a state of the art. I think all the problems will be handled from this place.
We are so grateful and happy, and also I would like to appeal to the Ministry of Health, through the Ministry of Health to the central government, that if they can speed up the process, we want this district hospital to be commissioned as quickly as possible.
The state-of-the-art hospital is complete and is expected to be commissioned within a few weeks' time. Yvonne Nombo reporting for the News in Nchelenge district.
Still in health news, Mize Mini Hospital in Zambezi West constituency of Zambezi District, Northwestern Province, only has a motorbike as a mode of transport for the health facility. District Health Director Chimuka Ngandalo says the health facility, being a mini hospital, requires a utility vehicle that will be referring patients to the district hospital, which is across the Zambezi River. Chai Bunkoma has the rest of the story.
This is the crossing point to Mize Mini Hospital in Zambezi West constituency. In an effort to check on service delivery, Provincial Health Director Dr. Lakson Chidikta is visiting Mize Mini Hospital for the first time since he assumed office as the in charge of health facilities in the region.
We have visited this mini hospital. So far so good. The place is well kept, and some of the equipments we have, but the critical ones like theater is not operational. This is not unique to Mize only. Most of the places where we have got mini hospitals, it's one of the challenges that we have, including specialized human resource like theater nurses, anesthetists, critical nurses. So
Dr. Chidikta also notes the main hospital does not have an establishment for health staff positions.
Also, the place doesn't have an establishment and not gazetted. But these are the things that we have already done. We had a meeting with PS Technical, and these things were discussed, and submissions are made because they want to regularize the establishments and also these institutions to be gazetted. So it's something that is already been tackled, and a lot of our young people who are working from here who have got their paid IDs established just from this point.
The mighty Zambezi River is a natural boundary that separates Mize Main Hospital from the Central Business District CBD that houses Zambezi District Hospital. However, Mize Main Hospital has a challenge of transport for referrals to the bigger hospital in Zambezi East.
When this institution was built, the only mode of transport that came along with everything that was brought in terms of equipment is a motorbike. But I think a utility vehicle is quite very important. Knowing that it's a main hospital, it will need at least to be referring even patients to the other side, maybe Zambezi District Hospital, that's our district hospital, or Shitokoloke, so they need transport.
For Zanis News, I am Chebu Nkoma in Zambezi District, Northwestern Province.
We take another break. We have more stories when we return. Stay tuned.
Kolera wapa msongo muka. Kolera wapa msongo wa kuichisa. Mutu alina msongo wa kolera echikuichisa nga chikuma na kusaza nawa. Bize vipi mwaichisa mutu na vipoya meya nge msoji wa loso. Mubeji echikuzia nga chikuma mujimba mumo ya kufumisa meya a mujimba. Mubeji nawa na hase kufa mujiwola li 12 hours ngeka wechi kumuhana vitumbo vya kumuka wa shiko. Unahase nga chili kuachi wa kumsongo wa kolera kuhichila mkuna meya kuwana kuhaka vitumbo nawa aze ali na majilo. Kulia vyakulya na mawoko aze ali na majilo chipwe kuzachisa malonga na jindeho ja kukosa na meya majilo akuhona kuhaka vitumbo. Kulia vyakulya vyakuhona kufika vize vana wili kubajiji. Kulia vyakulya vituta vize kabatumbikanga kana wako. Kulia vyakulya vize vana kulandulula mumikwakwa. Na kulia na wamihako na makovu ako na kukosa kanawa. Tunahasenga chili kulikinga kumusongo wa kolera. Telekenu meya enu akunwa chipwe kuhaka mo vitumbo vya chlorine. Sanenu kumawoko enu na sopo chipwe na meya kuhaka vitumbo hanyima ya kuzaisa chimbusho. Zumisenu vyakulya vyenu shimbukanda mubilye. Fwikenu vyakulya vyenu vyosena kuchina kuviwila kubajiji. Kanda kulya vyakulya vyakulanda mumikwakwa nduma. Zachisenu chimbusho lwalo sena. Kahakanda kuzachisa ndundu chipwe mapepa andundu hakuya na kulihehwa nduma. Mwatela kumwona ngwenu vipi yosena munavitapwila mchimbusho. Chimbusho chanu nawa chatela kupwa cha unyoji kahanawa cha kufika lwalo sena. Mujimbu uno wana mnehela wakuli wakachanda chatala kulikangula cha meno ya watu cha Ministry of Health.
Welcome back. Now, Minister of Labor and Social Security, Brenda Tambatamba, is concerned that technical fields have remained predominantly male-dominated. Ms. Tambatamba says women and girls are disadvantaged as a result of low education, social culture determinants, and low income. The minister was speaking in a speech read for her by Director for Social Security, Anthony Domingo, at the Women in Construction Conference in Lusaka. Luapula Province Minister Njava Simutowe is impressed with the successful implementation of the Constituency Development Fund CDF projects in Mwansabombwe District. Mr. Simutowe disclosed that the local authority in Mwansabombwe is among many councils that have made prudent utilization of the CDF fund so far. Details in the following report.
The local authority in Mwansabombwe District in Luapula Province is on course with the implementation of the Constituency Development Fund CDF projects. Luapula Province Minister Njava Simutowe, who was in the district to check on the projects, was happy with what he saw.
With the coming of CDF, indeed is a game changer. A lot of things now are happening in different locations. Now currently, every district, every constituency something is happening.
I'm told that before this school came about, our children were learning under a tree. Now with the New Dawn government, with the increased CDF, we are saying no learning under the tree. All our children are going to be housed in good classrooms. And we are not only building classroom blocks for our children, we are also providing furniture. Gone are the days when children would walk long distances to go and access education.
Meanwhile, Acting Council Secretary Matthews Mulenga highlighted a number of projects that have been implemented using the 2022 and 2023 CDF.
To start with, we bought earth-moving equipment. We started with a grader, which we bought at the cost of $4,600,000 plus. We are also procuring the TOB. We are procuring the roller compactor. We are also procuring the water bowser and the tipper truck. On top of that, as a local authority, we are constructing classroom blocks, health centers. We've done one health center in Sesa. We've done the ablution block at the barrier in Mununshi. We are doing the 1x3 classroom block plus the ablution at Kasao Primary School. We are also doing a 1x3 classroom block at Chipita. We are doing a 1x2 classroom block at Luvansa. We are doing one health center in Chokwe, Kabalenge Ward.
Lewis Changwe, Zanis, Mwansabombwe, Luapula Province.
In Northern Province, government has released over 10 million kwacha to pay former government workers who were retrenched in 1997, 1998 and 1999. Kasama District Commissioner Elizabeth Goma says the money will be used to pay the retrenchees across the country. Zanis reports that Mrs. Goma said this when she addressed some former workers in Kasama District. We have more in the following report.
These are some of the people who retired and were retrenched from employment in the civil service over 20 years ago. The former government employees have come to Kasama District Commissioner's office to hear of the development concerning the payment of their dues. And Kasama District Commissioner Elizabeth Goma informed the gathering that the government has released over 10 million kwacha to pay for the former government employees who retired and were retrenched between 1997 and 1999.
We are giving you out your money, and it is our responsibility as government to make sure that we take care of you, all of you. You are Zambian citizens, and we need to provide for you because you worked for that money. Government, as government, not 10 million. Iya kweba tutipile abantu tamwabe bonse iyo.
National Retrenchees Chairperson Siachoke Simemeza also advised retirees and retrenchees to be wary of scammers.
So all these people that went on retrenchment in 97, 98, and those who went on voluntary separation, our message and the message from me, the face of the case, the chairman, is that let's have joy. We have come a long way, but here it is. The government has started liquidating the debts.
And the former workers had this to say.
Inani ngumfwa bwino na abene abanandi ndeba liyakobula ndokuti mwebuteko na abene bamone niko bwangu imikalile tayawama.
Reporting for Zanis in Kasama, I'm Jafet Munkondia.
Thank you, Jafet. Now, in Eastern Province, government says it is happy with the overwhelming response from women engaged in various empowerment initiatives in Lundazi district of Eastern Province. Over 1,200 women are among the beneficiaries who have enhanced their livelihood through the village banking and social cash transfer programs, among others. Chita Lutembo filed in this report.
Their age does not limit them to earning a livelihood. These women are a beacon of hope to the social cash transfer program and the village banking initiative under the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services. In Lundazi district in Eastern Province, over 1,200 women are among the beneficiaries of the government-funded empowerment programs. 75-year-old Clementina Mutonga, a village banking beneficiary from Lundazi Main Market, explains how she has managed to grow her business with her savings.
Ikundithandiza panatora mbweni niodeko tukapenta tumatusanga natu ikunovwira pakuti njani uyu ikunovwira kuchita kuthandizira kuvana va sikulu.
Not only a social cash transfer beneficiary, but has a daughter receiving aid under the Keeping Girls in School program.
Apo ngambira kupoka ndrama izi mu 2021 zanovirapo vana ku skulu kupereka kufumapo panapeleka vana ku skulu ako kakhalapo kadoko nikaikanga pa business kuti business kuti pandazi kuti nikurenge ku vana mabhuku kuzafika panyengo ine asono nichari kutola nditu 400 iyo novira nditu panyumba kovira vana vasiwa lanili nawo kovira vana vasiwa na vana vanili nawo vose pa skulu nina vana vatatu vali pa skulu mnyaka grade 12 mnyaka grade 9 iyo ndrama inovira nini iyi ya social trust fund inovira apo kumasinda vikansuzika ngako but apa solo munipokera ndrama iyo inovira konditu vana pa skulu utapandazi chifukwa cha ndrama ine iyi yani pongonga nditu avo vantu vakaipereka hivi kuti vatupokengeko ndrama zautepandazi
vaboma nzavapemba kuti vapitirize thandizo yavo vanagwira ntchito maningi potithandiza isi tenzeri bepo kuti amami vangakwanise kuti vatiphunzise venze vochepera kutali kuti vangatithandiza mami batini vapemba boma vapitirize vanagwira ntchito maningi.
The Ministry of Community Development and Social Services has continued to empower less privileged and vulnerable households countrywide through their programs such as the Social Cash Transfer, the Food Security Pack, Village Banking, Keeping Girls in School program, and the Alternative Livelihood Initiative, among others.
As you've seen for yourselves, a number of them are doing marketeering. It's through marketeering that they have been able to earn a living for their families, sending their children to school, even just uplifting their livelihood. It's through marketeering. You can even attest to the fact that some of them have even built some shops. It's through the same women empowerment. So there are even some of them started from as low as 800 kwacha through village banking and have continued to grow the money to grow bigger heights. Currently they are sitting at 2.5, which they are getting from government through community involvement.
Shtalutembo for Zanis News in Lundazi District, Eastern Province.
2 children aged 5 and 7 of Chitambe village in Chief Mumba's chiefdom of Mumba district have allegedly been abandoned by their parents. Shimbiji Ward Councillor Jamila Suleiman disclosed this to Zanis in an interview and appealed to the Zambia Police Service and other law enforcement agencies to intervene in the matter. Details in the following report.
In a case of child neglect, these 2 siblings have been abandoned by their father and allegedly left under the care of a merciless stepmother. The physical scars on their bodies speaks to the hardships that these minors are going through and should elicit not only the interest of law enforcement agencies, but all well-meaning members of the community. Shimbiji Ward Councillor Jamila Suleiman says it is disheartening to witness the distress of the 2 minors.
Parents should face the law because these children are not being taken to school and there are signs of physical abuse, which is not acceptable. I think it should serve as a lesson to other parents who just neglect their children. It's the responsibility of every parent to take care of their children. If they were facing any difficulties, they would have approached us and the authorities so that we find a way of helping them.
And one of the neighbors to the dissident family, Alice Marupande, now shares the suffering being endured by the 2 minors.
These children could tell their friends about their challenges, but again the children could say, don't tell your parents because their stepmother was going to beat them up.
Chintambe Village Secretary Akim Njovu has called for justice to prevail for the minors.
Their
father is to blame. How can he bring the children and dump them?
He left them with a stepmother. Both of them are required to be followed by the law.
The children have since been picked by the area councillor, and the process to take them to the Department of Social Welfare has commenced. Krogasiankuru, Zanis, Mumbwa.
That is a rather sad development. In sports news, Kasama-based soccer analysts have expressed confidence that the Chipolopolo boys have what it takes to win the Africa Cup of Nations, which is taking place in Ivory Coast. Speaking in separate interviews with Zanis in Kasama, Eugene Nyemba said the national team can deliver at a tournament if only they perform at a high standard. Nyemba says that the team should remain positive and focused ahead of its opening game against the Democratic Republic of Congo. Another analyst, Kufa Chipeta, is also confident that the team will perform exceptionally well. Chipeta has since called on Zambians to rally behind the team. And meanwhile, a soccer fan, Jack Simutenda, says he has confidence that the Chipolopolo boys will reach the semi-finals of the tournament. Simutenda also thanked the government for adequately releasing resources to the team ahead of the tournament. And finally in the news, Zambia will begin her Africa Cup of Nations campaign as she takes on Congo DRC in the Group F opener to be played at the Laurent Gbagbo Stadium in San Pedro, Ivory Coast. Soccer analyst Franklin Malambo says the team needs to apply itself fully against the Congolese side that is a threat and if not handled well could cause a setback to the Copper Bullets' return to the Continental Soccer Showpiece after missing out on 3 editions. Audrey Kalenga has details in this report.
The Zambia national soccer team takes on the Leopards of Congo DRC in their opening Group F fixture at the ongoing 2023 Africa Cup of Nations tournament in Ivory Coast. As part of their preparations, the Chipolopolo boys held a training camp in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and played a friendly match against Cameroon.
The match is played. We can safely say there are no foregone conclusions, which means that teams must give their all. The other thing that we've seen is that in a number of games, late mistakes or late lapses in concentration have cost teams, which also means that the teams have to concentrate basically up to the end. And against that background, then it becomes important for our team to apply itself fully against the Congolese side that is very tricky and if not well handled could cause a lot of problems for us.
Zambia Sports Fans Association patron Peter Makembo says he has confidence in the team assembled and urged fans to rally behind the boys and boost their morale.
We have got a hot team which is the hottest now. Very few teams will be able to catch my boys there. As for us fans, we don't doubt it at all. And I know my boys. When I send them to such kind of a tournament, they perform wonders.
And on the sport check by Zanis Sports around Lusaka found soccer fans excited about Zambia's opening match at the AFCON and urged the team to win at all costs.
Expectations are all over Zambia. We are looking for a team that is going there to compete, especially that these other friends in the southern region, Southern Africa, have done so good.
A good starting is a good ending. So we are just expecting a win. We are just wishing our guys all the best where they are.
If they lose the first game, the spirit, the hype that they have will even reduce. Because they'll be thinking if they might qualify to the next stage or not. And looking at the previous AFCONs who haven't been there, this one is very important, including to soccer fans.
Soccer knows no age, and children who are inspired by the likes of Patson Daka and Fashion Sakala are also excited about the game.
What are your expectations for the team? I expect that Zambia wins the game against Congo. Yes, and who's your favorite player? My favorite player is Patson Daka and Fashion Sakala.
After being absent from AFCON for 3 editions, the reigning COSAFA champions aim their bullets on the Leopards of DRC before facing Tanzania on Sunday and conclude their group stage fixture against the Atlas Lions of Morocco on January 24th. Audrey Kalenga, Zanis Sports, Lusaka.
We wish the national team all the best in their game tonight. Now that item brings us to the end of the news, but before we go, we have a look at the headlines once again. Dubai Port pledges to help Zambia become logistics hub. Government releases 10 million kwacha to pay retrenched workers. Hospital depends on motorbike for transport. Plus, Chipolopolo takes on Congo DRC at AFCON. And that is all we have for you on this edition of Zanis News. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember to keep your families and yourself safe. Cholera is real. Thank you.